Hey guys, and how's it going? Hey, we're going to continue on this little miniature boat that was rescued from a property that was getting turned into a development. I think it was like an old farm property with a open-sided barn, and this was sitting in it. We have one video on it, getting it up and running, just kind of doing an assessment on the engine, and got it to spin and run and circulate some water around. We're going to try to continue to get the rest of the stuff up and working on it, and hopefully try to get it in the water to see what it can do. It's a commercial boat of some sort. It's got a VIN number on the back. It is strange because it has the propeller in the front with a cage on it, and it has a rudder in the back to steer it. I've never seen a setup like this before, but I thought it was pretty cool. So hopefully can, by the end of this video, try to put it in water, but we have no promises. This is kind of how we found it, cleaned up a bunch of mouse nests and everything out of it. It's called the Wild Thing. And let's get to wrenching. I forgot where I left off. I'm gonna have to kind of revive my memory of where we were, because it's been about a month. But I think we kind of went through the carburetor and we were spinning it with a drill and we got it started. The pull start is a part on the other side of it. Maybe we go and address that. I mean, we'll try to get the pull start hooked back up. I think it sits right in this area, and we'll go from there. So looking down in there, there's an upper and a lower section to it. I'm not quite sure how it would have all been put together, but I guess this is the preload spring on it. I don't know if it's any good. Seems to be. That fell into a groove on that lower section. The problem is that lower section bolts up from the bottom, so I'd have to bolt that on. The other way around. Yeah, like that. We got to preload this. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just bolt it together. I'll take the rope right off of it, and we'll just kind of spin it up when we're done, because I don't know of any way we can kind of load it up and try to put it together. Probably how it was put together from the factory. So without further ado, let's eyeball that real quick. Make sure I put everything back the correct direction, and we'll cut that knot off. I don't know if I have any rope that's gonna fit this. So you know what I can do? Let's go cut it off the handle side, and we'll leave this all spooled up. Make sense? I agree. All right, I'm gonna go cut the handle off. Probably put a piece of tape on that just to hold it together. Yeah, I wish this boss would have come off in an assembly. So here's all the things we have to try to get together at the same time. That hook has to go through the hole and catch underneath on the slide. There's a locating pin right there, and then these two bolts. But even when I just tried putting that base on by itself, I wasn't able to catch the spring to go through there. I don't know how I'm going to be able to. Maybe we just try loading it up. Let's see if we just put some spring pressure on it. If anything, it's not really stuck in a groove, you know what I mean? Here's the cut. That spring is sitting like that. It's not through it and in. I don't know how to try to like pull down on that. Plus, yeah, you can't poke it with a screwdriver. I take a mirror underneath. I'm gonna go see how that looks. That's the only thing I can think of, is if we put enough preload on it, it might just go pink and pop in. I'm hoping. Let's see how that looks. You're not gonna be able to see it neither, but yeah, it's not through. I wonder if I might be able to get up there with a pick, because that should be sitting. There's a cut in there, and you can see the groove at. See what you're looking at. So it would be at like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock to 5 o'clock is where it has to. That cable has to come through there. Yeah. How else can we push on it? I really don't. I'm gonna try. I wonder if we could put a piece of wire under it. You know what I mean? Let's take it back out of there. And maybe we could wrap a piece of wire around this. We could put it through and pull on it and pull down. It's got plenty of like bounce to it, you know. But even looking where it's sitting, the hole that it sits in stops right there, so we have to try to get it to pull down around it. Yeah, let's go try that. Let's go put a little piece of a wire on it and be able to pull down on it. Maybe tape. I don't know if it's going to be enough room for the wire and the piece at the same time. Give it a shot though. Yeah, there's not enough room around the wire and the piece. It's too fat to pull through the hole now. I'll get it. Let's try putting the wire up here so the spring stays out further. And I should be able to feed it down through and then hopefully pull the wire out later. Is that any better for us? Get the top plate sit in the right direction first. This is probably why I put off putting this back together, because I knew this fell apart on me. I was like, oh boy. Yeah, it's going to be an issue. Might have just went. Close to it. So I'm going to work on it like that. I think that's probably going to be our best bet to get that to feed through. Make sure it's indexed correctly. I lost it. I gotta reset it. I'm gonna keep working on that, see if I get it. Spin. So close. There it is. We got it. All right, so you can get the wire out. Make sure the upper part is in its correct location, which is gonna be right there. Just get the wire out of it, not losing it. Good. Let's get that on. Oh, can we still spin it? Yeah, I have to pull it away. Let's go put a preload. Is that the right direction? Yeah, we want the snap back. Okay. I'm gonna go wind that up. I don't think we have to go. We just need enough right now so it has a little bit of return on it. I put oil on the bottom too. Yeah, that might be good right there. Let's go try that. We can pull the tape off, pull the rope. When I pull the rope through it, it'll put the rest of the tension on it. Trying to make sure that dowel is in place, this rod right here. So on this side is a support rod. It's hard to see. It's that right there. Well, it kind of fell down. I pushed it back up and I got it lined into the top. And I was like, well, what holds it in place? And a couple of you yelling at me. The bottom plate is 180 out, and it's supposed to hold. That's supposed to hold it up right there. So I'm gonna try loosening those two screws, hopefully without it popping back out of there, and rotate that one 180, and then I think we're good. If not, I gotta do it all over again. The old saying, we do it right because we do it twice. Will it go? Come on. Go, go, go. The rod is up. That's more like it. You could have said something earlier. I'll let it slip this time, and next time you'll be held accountable. Get it all together. And the rope's gonna fray. I think the tape is kind of stopping it from turning right now. She's a little on the chubby side. So we need the rope to go this way, right? Come on. How do I keep the gear from going up when we're trying to feed it? Well, we just let it go, right? So we'll just... And that's winding the spring up too for us. Come on. That should be enough to get it through there. Let me, I didn't bring any vice grips with me to stop that from turning. What do I do? When you want to hold this, I get something to stop it from spinning. I don't want to let it go. I'll just try to hold it, everything. It's got to go through there. Through the hole in the dash and then get tied around that post. I could probably stab it. Can we stab it with the just keep pulling. Is that too much? I don't want too much tension on it. And feed that through the dash. Not good for it. There we go. We should probably heat that up, put a little bit of ball on the end of it. One. Go through it again. 2. Go release it. Take the string out of it. It definitely looks like it can use some lube. Kind of a sloppy contact, huh? Like that top bushing is like crappy. Let's not get carried away. Would have been like a plastic bushing or something in there at one time. It ain't there no more. The plate that's in there. Let's give that a fighting chance. We'll throw some lube on it. Probably try pulling it over with no plugs in it, huh? Any drag. Let's give it a quick test run. Let's see if it'll. Looks all right. All right, let's give that a little test run. Feels pretty good. I think we're definitely going to bring a drill with us just in case we want to try starting it with that, though. I don't know how easy it's going to start. It's back together. Let's go move on to something else. About time. Do you remember what we had for a fuel source, how clean it was? Let's get that tank out of there. Crack that open, see where the mice have been running on it. And how do we look? Let's go bring it over to the bench. I want to make a tumbler for cleaning gas tanks. I want to get something that's a variable speed motor though. I almost made it this week. Keep an eye out for something. It's got some rust in the bottom of it. Let's it's not terrible. I don't know if I want to put water in there or not. Let's go throw some hardware, some bolts in there, and some water, and we'll shake it about. I wonder what happens if we don't use any liquid at all. If we just put hardware in and shake it. I'm not sure if that'll work or not. Let's go through the... Oh, we don't have to worry about drying it out, you know what I mean? Let's go try it. What'd you do with the cap? We'll try it dry first, see if it does anything. There's the inside of the cap too. Pretty much looks like the rest of the tank. I'll tell you one thing. It's loud. So what if we were to take like a magnet, and we hook that, we'll put a bolt through this. No, they can't get it off. Good. Let's put a bolt through that, which sticks out the other end, and we'll stick it on a drill. And maybe we just kind of have it like tumble in the background with a drill on a variable speed. Let's go see if that's straight first of all. A little wobbly. It probably doesn't matter though. Let's go for almost the center. I should probably click the drill over the slow speed, huh? That's slow. When we get a tie wrap for the trigger, we can kind of use that to throttle the throttle. It's going to fall off on us a half a dozen times so we get it going. Try to support it. Too fast. Gotta cut the tire off and do it again. We gotta make it so the hardware's flopping, not just sticking to the wall. Like, what was that circus game you went up, it spun you around, the floor dropped out? Try that. That's why I wanted something that's got like a motor on it that we can like, take a piece of plywood, we put bungee cords across it, and a motor with like a adjustable speed on it. We could dial in what we need. Let's see if that did anything at all. I don't see much dirt. Let's try some hot water and soap. Probably about an inch in the bottom is all that's there. I'm just gonna piss out of some of the ports that I should probably plug. But at least it's just water. Let's see how that sounds. Sounds like it's doing more. Let me go shove a piece of fuel line on that. I'm out of breath. I'm doing the shake. See if we get any mud. Oh, there we go. That's what we want to see. Works better with lube. Holy. I think I might have put a little bit too much soap in it. Let me go rinse that out. We'll take a peek inside. Definitely got rid of a lot of the dust though. Blow dry. And let's give it the heat cycle for about 5 minutes. I don't know if it's steaming or smoking, but I think we got it hot enough. Let's go kill that. I'll let that breathe for a little bit. Yeah, let's see what we got. Well, I'd say it's far from perfect, but there's nothing loose that's going to come off. The sides really came up pretty good. And there's a bunch of stuff you can use. You can use acids and things to try to eat it up, even like lemon juice and vinegars and whatnot. But I'm happy with that. I think that's going to be able to serve us for what it is. And plus, you start using more of the heavier acids. There's ones that this tank, this Galvy, that's the coating that's on the outside and the inside of it, and you just start pulling that off. And then the problem with that is you strip it so far that it rusts really fast if it's not full of fuel. So I think good enough for now. At some point I'm gonna, like I said, I'll make a gas tank tumbler that's kind of good for all of them. We kind of leave it in the background for a couple hours, do its thing. But for now, we're gonna call it good enough for what we're doing, I guess. Go get it in the boat. Well, before we put the gas tank in it, let's the steering is let's just say it stays put. That might not be a terrible thing, but let's go throw some lube on that, see how it comes back. And if not, we'll take some stuff apart. In the front or in the rear. Good if we get somewhere down the center of the bushing. So it's got a linkage out back too. Or I should hit that, I'll show you. You're curious what we got for leaks too when we put it in the water, because that goes right through. I know they have it raised up. And if you can see it, there's a pipe that comes up to right here, so the water level would have to get up to here before it would come down over the center, actually come through the middle. The boat would have to be sitting lower in the water than this height. Plus I see a bunch of foam in it, which is nice. And it feels like, so the rudder moves pretty good. It seems like most of it's up front. So let me go work on that a little bit more. Well, I ended up taking the wires off the kill switch when we first started because we were trying to find spark and how everything worked. And I think they had wire nuts on it. I'm not going to go that bad. I'm going to use butt connectors, but I pack them with grease so that moisture doesn't get in them. You get fancy and solder them, but I'm just not that fancy. We can't go by the colors, I believe. I remember last time, the purple one coming out, this is the one from the dash, had it's either a normally open or a normally closed switch. So you get 3 wires. One's common and one's normally open and one's normally closed, meaning in the resting spot of the switch it's one or the other and you can switch them around. So it was these two that we used. And what they did, they took a tether, because in a boat like this, if you fall out of it, you want to be able to kill it so it doesn't keep cruising across the lake and either leave you stranded or come back and run you over. So you have a tether on it that shuts it off. They got kind of fancy. They took a regular toggle switch, but they put it in an enclosure that it's the same switch. Either you want to shut it off or you pull the tether out and it shuts it off. I'll show you right now. They have it right here. See where it says run, and it has a tether on it, and if you pull the tether, let me get you down in there, you can see how the switch flipped over, and or there you go, that's a run position. You can turn it off, or you just pull the tether, it turns it, and this tether connected to you if you fall off like that. Let's go see if we still have spark. I'm not going to take a plug out, but I'll shove another one in. And our ignition is set up. I don't know, we can kind of... What do you want to zap off of? Me? I don't know if you can be able to see. Let's try holding it right there. Yep. All right, we got spark. Good. Let's let me click the switch. Make sure it's working. Yep, no spark. Good. Safety third. Buzzing across the pond. Stuck full throttle. Headed to shore. I don't know why you would head to shore. You can still steer. What else do you want to do? We can put the gas tank in it. Do we have anything else we need? Oh, we got to put the prop back on it. All that kind of stuff underneath. Let's go throw the gas tank in it for now. Unfortunately, I don't know what this engine would take for premix. I'm going to do 32-to-1, which is pretty good. If anything, it could foul some plugs. And it's modern oil too. It's not oil that's not good. Yeah, we got about 2 inches off the bottom of the tank. It's a modern oil. Like a lot of the old stuff, they just used motor oil and would mix it in. And they had it like 24-to-1, 18-to-1. So we're not going to go that much because I know it pretty much will foul the plugs. So this is our pickup. Just put our fuel line back on it, and then it's got a primer bulb. Let's go dump that in and see if fuel will go to the carb. It's set up pretty good as far as being simple. The fuel line actually feels pretty good. Plus, it's probably a marine grade. Go up and around. I'm gonna go grab a new hose clamp for that, and then we'll see if it primes up. I ran a fuel line back from the front. This is coming out of the fuel pump. I want to kind of see if we purge it through. Make sure there's no dirt or nothing in it, and that it's doing what it's supposed to. Yeah, I got a little bit of mud there. Supposed to get the air out of it. It's looking pretty good now. The stuff on the bottom though was that first couple shots was a little on the chocolatey side. All right. Now we can hook that up to the carb. I just didn't want to push all that crap. I didn't want to push all that dirt into the carb in the fuel pump there. Go put that in Brian's car. So this is the fuel line we're going to use over. The problem is I don't have any hose clamps that are small enough for that. But what I do have, back in the day, tie wraps were made really good. I don't know if you can see in the center of that one. Oh, it's the fuzzball. The center of that one is actually a metal tab. I was at a friend's house over the weekend. We were cleaning out an estate. My dad worked for the phone company, 90s. And all these packages were up in the barn. It said made in the USA, believe it or not. And they're not like the ones today, where you put the first one on and you pull on it and it breaks, and then you figure out how hard you can pull on it before it'll break. So we're going to use these for now. At some point it should have the right clamps, but this is better than not having any clamp at all. And I'm going to double them up too, just in case. And sometimes it's good if you take them and where the I'm going to call it the butt, this part of it right here, don't put them both in the same spot. Same thing with hose clamps. You really shouldn't, like we get that one facing down, let's make this one face up. So if you're doing double hose clamps too, where the screw part is, try to make them 180 out from each other. Up here. That's pretty good. You can grab it with pliers and pull on them tighter. And these won't break and they don't corrode, believe it or not. Again, they're already, how old are they? They are, shit, 30, at least 30 years old. Although they were in a cabinet, but still, the white ones you get now from like Harbor Freight. The white, especially the white ones, they fall apart in like before you even take them out of the package. Alright, I'm going to go clip them shy, and then I'll spin this, maybe you can't see. I'll take one of them and I'll spin it up after I cut it, like that. I'm going to take an air gun. Do I have any carburetor leak? Hope not. Getting personal with it, see if there's anything. So I see some wetness down here, but I think it's just when I pulled the line off. Yeah, my dad worked for 3M back in like the 90s, 80s into the 90s. And he would get, again, all the same thing. 3M made really good stuff. And they had the tie wraps too. Might have been called something else, but these are actually called tie wraps. It said it right on the package. Not cable ties or whatever they name them. But I had a motor mount go in my 69 Cougar. If you ever break a motor mount, the first time it happens, you're like, what the hell? You get on the gas, you hear this big thump, and then you let off the gas, you hear it bang, and that's the engine lifting up and dropping. So I went and put a bunch of the heavier tie wraps, about 6 of them, around the driver's side motor mount. That's the one that, you know, lifts up in the air. And I ran the car like another year and a half like that. I sold the car like that, and to this day, some would say, they're still there. I'm gonna go hit that primer bulb a little bit. See if gas comes pissing out anywhere where it shouldn't. Anything? You can't see too far from up there. I think we're okay. I think we pushed fuel up and into the carb. The thing, we got the prop to put on, but when we go to put that prop on, if we go to start it, it's going to splash all the water out. Let me go see if I can find a bigger tow. I think we used that barrel last time. How about? That should do it. Let's get a prop on it. That would help. So that has a pin that keys the prop to the shafts. And I think it's meant to shear. I think if you hit something, this pin is supposed to break off. And that just locks into the back of that. There we go. And then it has a cap that goes on, that holds it. And where is the hole? Going straight across. 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And that has a cotter pin. You guys overseas, what do you call it? Split pin? You call it cotter pin, cotter key. I don't know, can we make it one more round? No. Oh, now I did it. Probably supposed to be a little loose anyway to be able to shear that pin. It just goes through. Starts up, takes my fingers out. Like working on a lawnmower. Grab the blade and turn it. It chops your fingers off. They use the same key over. I think that key is stainless. Or at least nickel. Sorry for rust. Let's leave it at that. Not flatten it out. Alright. Let's go get some water. Stick some water underneath it. Do you think this pond is a little small for this boat? Make it. How's our height? Sit up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get over there. How about we just kind of one of those? Great. Going down. Now I do believe that might splash a little bit of water out of that barrel. I guess that's the idea. I'm gonna use the electric start. I don't know how long that pull start is gonna last. That top bushing is kind of crappy, so I don't want to push my luck. So we'll kind of stick with our electric start setup. Let's go. We need choke. and throttle. Give her a little. I have a feeling my feet are going to get wet. We started it before with no propeller on it. There's no load, so who knows what we're going to get now with a load on it. Get rid of the choke. Good. We're definitely, I say splashing a little bit of water. Didn't see that coming, but that's good. That's a good sign, though. It's showing that everything is taking a load on it. I just want to make sure we're good to go before we load it back up in the pond. Let's go fire it up. Try to let it run for a minute. It's going to kick all the water out of it and get loud, but I do want to run it for a second. Let me hit that primer bowl too. So I disconnected that fuel line. Now it's pumped up. Trying to work between the throttle and the choke. Problem is, it doesn't have like an idle, kind of like a golf cart. It doesn't have that idle circuit to run. You know what I mean? It's got a pull throttle, and when you go to let the throttle all the way in, it's not idle. It's off. And I don't. You know, you think you would use that kill switch over there, but that's kind of what we ran into before. Yeah, definitely pushed 10 gallons of water out of it. You think we're good enough to try to go to the water? What's your opinion? It's a 3-hour tour. All right, let's, I think we just go for broke. We'll bring some tools with us just in case we have some other issues with it. Let's go load her back up in Krusty and go for a little ride. Yeah, this will slide right back on the forks. Oh, forgot about that part. No problem. The fun part's been getting on the truck though. And almost like it was planned, Sammy Hagar stopped by and decided to lend a little hand and have a little bit of fun today with us. So good, that makes it a little easier on the both of us. Hi, Sammy.
There you go.
All right, let's go spin this thing around and see if we can get it back on Krusty.
Yeah. Wow, hey. Probably end up doing both. Yeah, a little bit of both. I don't think I'll be able to reach all the way back to those. We'll be able to slip it right on there. You see it? Yeah, you can stop anywhere there. Let me go on. Oh, there's the nail and this one. Hold on. Okay, great. Can you come in? Up. Right there. Okay, go ahead down. Yep.
Okay. Now we gotta get the equipment. I'll say we do one on each side, but we're already. Yeah, so I think we went across on. I don't know how we're gonna do that though.
You're gonna have to back as you back the forks out. I'll slip them both in there.
Well, okay. I think it's already sitting on the prop housing, so I can probably just let it down. Just keep the boat from following me.
Roger, Roger. You want me to lift it?
No, yeah.
We're gonna play whose back is better.
Right. Whose back is worse? Okay. Perfect. You just gotta push the other side of it to my side. Yeah. Is it the blocks or the?
You're right up against the what's that thing called?
The rudder?
Rudder.
Rudder?
Good thing I wasn't in the Navy.
And this would be the easy part of the trail. That's the tie downs on the boat. I think they're getting a little slack in them. Oh boy, that's gonna go through the back window. Hold on, we gotta do something. That's not good.
That's wiggling.
Yeah, it's like gonna go right through the back window. So we gotta get another strap. Maybe we'll go from there down around the bumper or something.
Okay.
We crisscrossed her every which way direction. That should. What's the famous last words?
Whatever.
That should hold it. All right, as you were. Been here in a couple of weeks, so hopefully there's no trees down across the trail, because it does happen. Oh, that's better. She's staying still now. I had looked in my rearview mirror. I was watching the thing miss the back window by about an inch, and then slide forward again. There's a water crossing up here. Well, there was a water crossing up here. It's probably dried up right now with a beaver dam. That's probably like the worst of it. Then the trail continues on the other side. On the other side, it's kind of like this. Once we get through this next part, you'll see in a second. Starts to happen. See those rocks on the left? I dug them out a long time ago. They used to be in the middle of the trail. But there's still some decent ones here. This is where the water crossing normally is, but like I said, it's dried up right now. So we got to figure out what's the best path, because there's a big, that guy right there, ankle biter. Let's go. Keep moving. And I want to try to cut to the right. Stay out of the plug. And boogie through it. There we go. You know why it's a shaky cam? Because it's shaky. should get better. And we got about a half mile to go. Alright guys, so we made it to camp. I backed the truck right up. The water stays shallow for about, I don't know, past that green edge right there. We have to at least walk it out to at least that point to be able to fire it up, because the underneath of the boat hangs down like a regular outboard. You just flip the motor over. But we have that appendage hanging down there. So we got to get it at least so it clears that. So we're going to get the thing disconnected and do our best to kind of walk it in there and not drop anything, and see how we make out. I'll set you over on the side here and you can kind of watch from afar. Nice place. So one thing I should probably do before we put it in the water is put that in there. That might help us out a little bit. That is, for those who don't know, that is the drain for the boat. It is hiding right back here. It's supposed to go in from the inside most of the time, but I'm looking at it. Yeah, it looks like it might be a little bit on the daunting side of things. Let me try to wiggle that sucker in there and lock her down. Come on, baby. I know. It's the first time for everybody. Get in there. Get. It doesn't want to work. Come on. Damn it. There we go. It's just going. Yeah, there's no way it's going to go on from inside the boat. As long as that doesn't fall out.
We are some white fellas, by the way. Just so that people know. Oh, there.
Well, that sucks. What if the pin fell out when I was trying to put the prop on?
Find out.
Let's go pulling into the pits. Watch his land with a prop on it, sitting in the parking lot now. Ready? Yep. Steady right. Do my right. Do left. I got you. So, this is an issue. I think the gears in here don't do. We never took that apart. Yeah. I'm gonna go pull the key back out of it. I'm having a feeling these gears done suck. If that's the case, we're shot down in flames right off the get-go. What the hell? Maybe that's why it was parked. Oh, come on. I'm gonna spin that. Brian, grab this. I'm gonna spin that with the drill real quick. Just look at the prop with it. Yeah. It's spinning.
snowballs.
Yeah.
Alright, well, so whatever it is in here, so we're not going to be able to do anything much more about it. Let's go plop her back in the water and give it a shot, I guess.
Minor technicality.
What's the little gas fumes in the bottom of the boat? There's your problem.
It's doing all the right stuff. I see bubbles coming off the back. I see water going out the side. Oh, no.
So, all good things go to shit sometimes.
I'm coming to get you.
Look at that road. Hey, Jesus! Well, I guess this is going back to the shop. That's nice. It is nice, huh? You have nothing in your pockets, right? You don't touch it. We ain't fixing this here. It just became a longer video.
My glasses, sir. I apologize.
Okay. I hope you enjoyed this. Lovely adventure. It's a good day for a ride.
Well guys, unfortunately the shaft for the propeller and the shaft coming down from the engine, they don't meet anymore. Well, they meet, but they make hamburger. They are grinding away on each other. That's probably why the boat was parked and not used anymore. It was a failure that was already there that I just did not catch. So be it. It turned out the way it was. I was hoping to be buzzing and skipping across the pond, and that unfortunately did not happen. I don't know where we're going to go from here. I don't know if I could get parts for that or not. I'm not even quite sure what the engine is. You know, once we go pull that apart and see what the carnage is. But this is unfortunately where we are. So I think Brian and I are going to just kind of hang out and enjoy the lake without the boat. And it's like a nice 80, it's perfect day. It's like 80 degrees. It would have been awesome to go cruising around the pond, but it's just not going to happen. So we may go do some fishing or something along those lines. But for this one, guys, I think we're going to have to call it. Any parting words? Words of wisdom?
Even the worst day at the lake is still the best day.
Alright, we're back at the office in tight quarters, but I want to see if we can open that up a little bit. I kind of want to see what went on. Well, that's not helping either, huh? It definitely went to the point where it just ground right off. I don't know if we can access it from in here. We're gonna try. I believe so. I think we might be able to pull at least the shaft. You know, of course, you know, this one out. Funny if it was that shear pin. I don't think so though. Nope. Let's also make sure that's not spinning, huh? So let's get rid of that. Yeah. And it has, it looks like we got like set some kind of spanner socket, and we could spin this outer race off of it, like this preload. Maybe we get into there. Let me see what I can find to try to, it's a specialty socket that is holding this on. And let's dig. This is just sand from us trying to drag it up on shore. The other problem is, you know, we get up into the hull. I think this is going to be a pain to try to get the one that comes down. To change that one out, I think is going to be a little on the difficult side. Get on it. Yeah, so I was afraid of you. You're going to like just barely get it. Let's just see if it'll do anything. Yeah, it's crushing the corners of it away. Gives us a clearer shot at it. I have a like a chain wrench. Maybe we could wrap that around it and get it. I'm gonna eyeball it real quick and make sure that this is what we're supposed to be turning. I think so. Let's do that on there to stay. You wouldn't think that's reverse thread, right? You would think that that's just what it is. Try going the other way. Can't really put heat or nothing on it neither. Let me see if we can get a pipe on the handle here. Get a little bit extra tug. It's probably all corroded together. See what we get for goo. Metal bits, I would think. It checked this on the. Ugh. Yeah. That's looking a little unhealthy. It's clean and dirty at the same time. Yeah, I see bits of like a rainbow of metal just coming out of it. There's your issue. My guess is that's probably why it was parked. You know, it got used and then this failed, and then they just kind of said, oh well, someday we'll get to it, and just never got to it. So I tried getting the collar off of it, and it's not happening. I tried clamping onto here and twisting it. It does not want to go. It actually started to crush it a little bit right there. And then it's got, whoops, it's got screws down below right here. Try getting them out. And of course, you know, they're all locked up. Aluminum and stainless stuff do not play very well together. They gall on the threads in the best of times, and then you add water to it. It really makes it even worse. It's pushing out some mud. A little bit of water. Oh well.
Yeah, as it's winding down, it's pretty much becoming all metallic now. Yeah, there's nothing left of that. Those gears, unfortunately. And I can't get it apart, so... Like somebody did some welding to this at some point too. Above. Looks like they welded here. Looks like they may have ripped the bottom edge off. I wonder if they built that little cage around it later after they smashed it into something. Yeah, but the water pump still works.
Well, guys, I tried tearing that apart. I really wanted to see what was in that lower unit and, you know, what failed on it. Again, I think it's like a brass gear and a steel gear that meshed together. And, you know, the brass gear probably just ended up tearing itself up over time. And that's probably why it was, I'm going to call it parked. What do you call a boat when you don't use it anymore? I don't know. Disembarked. Anyway, I don't know what is in there for a drive. And, you know, the last video there was about 20 comments saying all the different engines that they said it was. And I'm sure one of them's right, but that means 19 of them are not. And I don't own this boat. That's the other thing. I was at a yard sale and I was going around and I saw it on the side. I asked if it was for sale and they had said no, but I pestered them enough to allow me to take it. And I go, let me see if I can get it running. I'll go through it for you. It won't be charged to you, but you know, if it needs any hard parts or anything, I got to tap out. But you know, I thought we were all good. We got it up and running, got the engine going, and we put it, you know, when we put it in the big barrel of water, we fired it up with the prop. It pushed all the water right out of that bowl real quick. So I thought we were all set, but apparently not. That's probably why it was parked. Was you know, that issue of the drive crapped out in it, and this will probably be the end of it. I don't know. At some point, again, I don't own it. If I owned it, I would either maybe try repowering it with something else, maybe a little bit more modern, and you know, go along those routes. But I do not. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in the future. But I did have fun with it. I think it's a cool little machine, and I wish it would have done what it was supposed to do, going cruising across the water. We were definitely looking to go have some fun with that and do so, but it just wasn't in the cards. All right, guys, some win, some fail, and yeah, this one falls into the lesser category of what I prefer. With that, I'll see you in the next one. Later. All right, there is liquid metal.